function operations. So we'll be looking at adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, composing. We'll talk about domains. We'll look at different ways functions are represented. So there is a lot of information in this section. We are just starting it today. It will take us a few days, so we're not going to get through this whole notes packet or anything today. So first, if I give you two functions, f of x is 3x minus 4, g of x is 2x squared minus 1.
Oh, this is the one.
32.
This is the one where you gotta plug it in.
Yeah, if I say f plus g of 0,
I'm gonna sneak.
That means x is 0.
x is 0, and I'm going to put it into both of them and do what with my two answers? Add them. So I just have to find f of 0 plus g of 0. So if you put a 0 into f, yeah, 3 times 0 minus 4 is negative 4. If I put a 0 into g,
No.
yeah.
Yes.
And negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5. You don't necessarily have to show as much work as I did. I kind of wrote out everything. You just have to be able to get to your final answer. I would encourage you on a test, maybe at least write out this piece, the negative 4 plus negative 1, so I know what you got when you plugged it into each of your functions. But other than that, you don't have to show everything. So on B, what am I going to do?
You're gonna plug in -2 and multiply.
Right. You have to put a negative 2 into each of those functions and multiply your answers together. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 minus 4
Negative 10.
is negative 10. All right, careful on this one. When you plug in negative 2,
I didn't know if the negative is made with it or not.
yeah, so negative 2 squared
It's 4.
is positive 4
Sweet.
times 2
8.
8.
minus 1.
7.
7.
Negative 7.
No, positive 7.
So our final answer is negative 7.
I said negative 7.
Who, me?
No, I said negative 7.
You said negative 7.
Yeah, it's positive 7.
Positive 7 is what you get when you
But I
put in.
said
So the
negative
final answer.
70.
Oh.
Yeah.
Negative 10 times 7.
You guys are agreeing. You just don't know you're agreeing right now.
Are you sure?
That just confused me.
You confused me.
Let's do the same thing, but I'm going to give you functions represented a few different ways. So f minus g of 0. What this means is the x value is equal to 0. If I'm looking at a graph, what do I have to do?
Just write it.
Find it. When we don't even need the equation, we can look. When my x is 0, this is the point on f, this is the point on g. So f of 0 minus g of 0. When x is 0, the y value of f is 4.
Yeah.
I can't count.
Minus, when x is 0, the y value of 0 is?
0.
So f minus g of 0 is 4. So when you have graphs, you are given the x, you're looking for the y. So f divided by g of negative 2. So when my x is negative 2, here are my 2 points. So f is my parabola. What's the value of f of negative 2? G of negative 2. So when x is negative 2, the y value of g is
2.
And 0 divided by 2? Let's see. Does everyone understand how I got those from my graph?
100%.
You went to where f is negative 2, and you used that point, and then divided it.
Yeah, you did.
Swag.
Oh, yes, you can.
All right. B.
There's a B. Oh, I got enough room. There's a C too. I'm full.
All right,
Yeah.
so when x is 0,
Occupy.
we're right here. So f of 0 minus g of 0. F of 0 is -1. G of 0,
4.
we'll get -5.
Yeah,
Right, for -2, we're looking at this row. So f of -2,
0. Or
Negative 5.
g of -2,
0. That would be no solution.
right,
Undefined.
undefined, or no solution, either way. You cannot divide by 0. Okay, I want you guys to do C and the next slide.
Not exactly.
Oh, I can't do that.
I'm not putting two and two together yet.
How do you show
See,
it?
you thought you was a teacher, but no.
How do you show it if it doesn't touch?
I'm ready to go home already, to be honest.
All right. So f minus g of 0. So if you put a 0 into f, you get 4. If you put a 0 into g, you get 0. 4 minus 0 is 4.
Yeah.
F divided by g of -2. If you put a -2 into f, -6 plus 4 is -2. Put a -2 in g. The absolute value of -2 is 2. The opposite of that is -2. And we get 1. Did we do okay on those?
Yeah.
First one.
Huh?
I did a good on the first one, not the second one.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at a graph again. So, remember, what I'm giving you right here is your x value. And I'm asking you to do a certain operation with the y's. So when x is -2, I want to do f minus g. So I can do f, but do I have a g?
No.
No, so what do you think that means?
0.
No solution.
Yeah, no solution. It does not exist. We
That's
can't
unbelievable.
actually work it out because my graph doesn't exist at -2. Okay, so
That just throws me for a loop.
f times g of 1. So when my x is 1,
You three.
so my f is 3,
I don't be doing this right. Turn me up.
g is 1, 3 times 1 is...
Oh, it's next one right. I'm about to start right on there.
No solution.
So f divided by g of 0. So f
Yeah.
is 1, g is 0.
0. No solution.
You can't divide by 0, so it does not exist. No solution.
No, I got it. Like,
Why do they all?
I just didn't get there,
dates on those?
so I didn't have answers right now.
That's just the time they were, the slides were created.
Oh,
You can do it.
No.
Do it.
like March, May, September, October, so.
That's probably the time they were edited, if they were edited.
Okay. Let's take a look at this one. So, I have my two functions again. How are these questions different?
There's not a number, it's a variable.
Right, I didn't actually give you a number. So our final answer isn't going to be a number, it's going to be an expression. We're still going to have variables in it. So when I say f minus g of x, we just have to do the f of x minus the g of x. What is f of x?
3x minus 5.
Minus. What is g of x?
X plus 4.
Alright, so if I want to subtract those things, what do I need to do?
This should be -1.
Negative.
So 3x plus negative x is 2x. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. And we get 2x minus 9.
No, we have to FOIL.
So b,
But it says give the domain.
oh yeah. So from yesterday, we know if we have a fraction, the bottom can't be 0. If we have a radical, we have to have a positive underneath. This has no fraction and no radical, so what's my domain?
Maybe you can probably.
So f times g. So we just have to take f of x and multiply it with g of x. So f of x is
3x.
times g of x.
Question.
So then, if I want to multiply those, we just FOIL. So 3x times x is 3x squared
She-
plus 12x minus 5x minus 20 Okay. What's the domain of that?
Can you do a puzzle?
No fractions, no radicals. So you can plug in any number you want for x. Alright.
What time you said we get in here?
C, f divided by g. So we have f of x divided by g of x. So f of x is 3x minus 5. G of x is x plus 4. I am not asking you to do long division or anything. You know, if you had like 4x divided by 2x, I would want you to reduce that. Because there's more than one term, we can't reduce anything. So that's all I want for your answer. Just a fraction in Lewis.
Oh, I was.
Then the domain. So this one does have a fraction. What did we talk about yesterday when we were looking at fractions?
0 in the denominator.
So x plus 4 can't be 0. So that tells me x cannot be negative 4. So we can have anything except negative 4. How did we write that?
Negative 4, negative 4. Negative 4.
Oh, man. What a day.
All right.
Me too, bro.
Questions on these? All right. So a couple things. There is a Math Excel assignment for this whole section. It is already open, so you have a little time right now. The next slide is going to take me probably longer than we have to get through, so I'm not going to start it. This is where I'm stopping. So you have 6 minutes right now. You could probably do the first couple Math Excel problems. We'll continue with that at least Monday and Tuesday next week and kind of see where we're at
So
from
when
there.
is this one gonna be due?
The Math Excel will be due probably Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you will have one other, we'll have a handout in the middle of that as